You're live.
We're live. Good morning. Good morning. Two of everything.
Everything.
You guys know we always wing it, right? It's so nice to be here. I was just realizing we've been live, of course, but we haven't had a Fiber Fairy in a long time. So
I'm not matching you.
Oh,
We need to
well, I
have the
could
same
unbutton.
number of buttons done. And we're good.
okay. Excellent.
We're twinning.
Aw, Sue can't stay.
Oh.
Well, have a great day, whatever you're doing. It's going to be a good day. So we have a new fun project, kind of revisiting an older project, but I was anxious to update the mouse tutorial because that was an old one that we made a long time ago in the mill with lesser everything, lesser tools, lesser knowledge, lesser technical skills, not lesser enthusiasm.
No.
No, tons of enthusiasm. And we I changed it. You know, the first mouse was not very realistic. It was pretty much a caricature.
Very cute.
And these aren't even, these are still have character. I'll never be hyper realistic. So anyway, slightly different. Armature is on 22 gauge wire, which is like the basket bunny and the raccoons, and no tiny toes, just little paws. Some new techniques with the tail and the pelt, and I think the ears are done similarly to ears in several other videos, but it'll be fun. It will be a really fun felt along. And the giveaway today actually has, I think, all of the wool, except for black.
You need black?
Little
You
bit
need some
of
wires.
black for
You
the
need some
eyes, and you
wires.
need the 22 gauge wires. But Talbot even made little heart tacky wraps to go, which I didn't set up nicely. They're just strewn. So on the first tier, you will get the copper core. Yeah, this is the little heart tacky wrap, which already has fiber on it. Sorry if you get this one. And I love copper core. It's such a beautiful color and useful for so many different directions. And then the second tier is a tan blend off of Dante. It's I'm so confused now because we had to switch a few things.
Okay.
And I can't remember if it is exactly Gen tan or slightly different,
Okay.
but a really nice variegated tan and Serafina white. And then the third tier is alabaster, which is what I was using for the feet and ears, and nut merino. So that blended with the Gen tan with a little bit of copper, you can have some variation in your pelt from, lighter to warmer to more brown, like the nut. Nut is one of my favorite merinos.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it. So yeah, so we're at first, they're each an ounce, but 5 different fibers. So the first tier is at 20 and 40 and 60. So not a huge, this is a nice little one, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, the 20, you get both
Yes.
the core
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
tacky wrap.
Yeah. So we will be doing our felt along on March 19th. So that should give everyone hopefully plenty of time to receive their supplies and be ready to felt along. And I think it's a pretty simple project, so we can set it up like a true felt along. And we haven't decided yet. Usually when we've made a tutorial, it will become a supply pack, but sometimes not. But we haven't decided on that yet. Or if we did, I don't remember.
And we might change our mind.
We might change our
We
mind.
might have decided and undecided.
So
Lots of mouse excitement.
Yeah.
So that's good.
yeah, they're
Question about the coffee mug. Do
We
we
have-
sell them?
we do, and the company that makes them is very busy. So they I think we ordered them back in like October, November, and they will come in June, we were told. I love our mugs.
We thought it was wrong.
Yeah, we were like, what? No, that's a
June
typo.
No. They're like, nope, it'll be June.
So we do have mugs. I had another thought. Oh, so the mice. Yeah, so it was really fun. We owe Kyla's mom, Nancy, thanks for picking this day. It was a great suggestion.
She loves numbers and fun days,
Yes.
and always has.
And it's a special time for me, and I'll get in. Well, I won't go too far into that, but there's a lot happening, and I just got really excited about this idea. And at first, we went right to twos and twins, and we were looking at when in terms of a project, we were like, which animals usually have twins, but then we went more to pairing. And
Well, the scientists don't really test animal babies for identical twinness. So with the multiple litters, are they twins? Are they all fraternal twins? It was a big question that we then moved away from. So yeah, we went with
but this specific species of mouse is called an Oldfield mouse, and they mate for life. So that was a fun choice, and then also fit in with wanting the mouse tutorial redo. So
someone asked Teddy Bear Brown and what we don't have exactly Teddy Bear Brown, but the brown core is great.
Yeah, brown core. Copper is definitely warmer. Certain core. There's been a shift in the industry that is affecting the supply of our dyed core, but it's not going to last forever. So don't worry. We're going to do our best to keep things in stock, and like the copper is a great substitution for cinnamon, for example. I can't remember what's out of stock right now. Maybe oats.
Oats
And cinnamon, or maybe there is still some cinnamon.
I know the oats is definitely
and
out.
oats we can work through that. We'll have it soon. So, when you make a comment, you're very
it's all I didn't
bright
that's
and
new.
highlighted.
I didn't know that, but that makes me feel a little extra special and powerful. So
the Sleepy Mouse has a lot of off-white core. Oh my gosh, I can't remember exactly what's in it.
I think it has. Doesn't it make tan mice too? I think it has some kind of tan.
Yeah.
And the pink,
It's
which
not
might
complicated.
Be,
It's not very complicated. I think I do. I think I actually make these guys with the copper, but you could definitely make them with off-white chunky core, and then I just use Serafina white, across the bottom and chins, and then make a pelt to go on top.
If someone has an old mouse kit from years ago, I'm sure you could make that work.
And then 22 gauge wires.
Well,
Yeah.
a mouse kit would have that, right?
They were on 14.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that why my mouse was so gigantic?
Yes.
It's not why my mouse was so gigantic. That had more to do with skill than...
Oh yeah, sheep. Oh, hi, Patience. Oh,
I forgot about sheep and wool.
I know.
Someone
It's gonna
wants
be
to
here
know-
before we know it.
Someone wants to know if these are coveralls. No.
These are not, but you should have seen my coveralls yesterday.
Super cute.
If anybody is getting Wild Fang ads, I highly recommend them. I got them and I love them. Because I was just saying to Kyla, I keep getting ads, and you never know if they're going to be good or not. Uh-oh, we have a visitor.
We have a
Come on.
visitor.
Good morning. We're live, just so you know. So I'm sorry I can't can't chit chat. Thank you so much.
I can't either.
Okay, thanks so much. All right, take care. Okay, Milo.
Milo's the welcome committee.
I was wanting to set up with pears, but like behind us, and that was just a local gallery owner named Patty returning a box of my animals because she had them for the holidays. And I was like, why don't I have any more animals than this? And yeah, so here they are. They just got returned. Sorry about that.
Someone asked us to hold a mouse for size reference. Like,
Yes,
how big actually
okay.
are they?
They're larger than life. Little larger than life. Smaller than the other mouse. Milo, that's enough. So butt to nose is about 4.5 inches. They're so funny.
We have a pair of hares.
Yeah, pair of hares, pair of rhinos, ducks.
Question about the base for 2D felting. There's a lot of leftover fiber from the 2D Fox kit, and they need another base material. So that was flat mat included in that. But then we also have the whole new line of Imprimatura pre-felt, which is awesome.
Yeah. So flat mat is way more affordable, like, or, less expensive. But with flat mat, sometimes, especially if you're doing a darker piece, some of the more coarse white fibers will come up into your picture. The Imprimatura is designed to wet felt very well, and it comes in a range of 10 colors, and you can pick one that will complement whatever direction you're going with your 2D. It would be fun to do another 2D discussion too. I really, really enjoyed that. So, yes, lots of twins today. Or at least we're finding out. We probably have lots of twins all the time, but we're finding out who is, and it's such a cool thing to have in your life.
The mouse tutorial, if we do update it, the old one, I don't think we get rid of the old one. If someone's interested in tiny toes, we usually keep them.
We usually keep them, but just try to.
But there are tiny toes, probably
Raccoon,
more updated, right?
right?
The raccoon,
the gnome. Yeah.
Sorry if I miss questions. Like, they're flying in. Can flat mat be dyed?
Sure.
You just don't want to agitate it too much in the dyeing process and then try to wet felt into it.
Yeah,
right? Like
you
that
should
would
be able to dye it without felting it. Yeah. Another change or another news in the supply world is that we recently had a visit from the actual engineer who designed our carder from Italy, and he helped us learn how to make roving on the carder. So we're going to switch. It's a more efficient way to blend the colors. So our house carded line will slowly, as we go through it, we're not going to make a definitive line of, on this day there will be no more bats. We're going to do it as we go. It does not change the fiber at all. In fact, since we started using Dante, we are taking a huge bat and pulling it into a rather narrow strip. So it's very much like roving anyway. So it might look a little different. It'll look a little bit more like a bundle probably than the knot kind of look that the bats have had, the house carded has had. So it'll be more efficient for us. And also what's super cool is now that we can do this, we can make the blends that have more variation. We have a line that we've been working on called Mythical, and it's going to have a lot more kind of sparkle and, lots more texture and different things in it. So we'll be able to do that now. So just look for that. Just starting to get people aware that change is coming. That anything house carded will probably be in roving form.
Bonnie's asking, would it be better to wet felt the imprimatura before needle felting onto it?
It depends on what you're trying to do. The pieces that I made on imprimatura that I needle felted directly onto it. It is felted enough to be the support for your needle felting. So like these two things are needle felted only right onto imprimatura without wet felting. And I stretched them onto canvas stretcher. So it does have enough structure to hold up to that. If you really want the background to be super tight before you needle felt onto it, you can do that. You can wet felt it first. You could needle felt your project onto imprimatura and then wet felt it. There's a lot of options. It really just depends on what your goals are and the look of the piece that you want to make.
Yeah, somebody was asking about seal point. I just linked our black brown Shetland, which is a really good replacement substitution for seal point. That was one that we loved, and then we just couldn't get it anymore.
Like clay,
which happens.
Yes,
loved it, just couldn't get it anymore.
Happen, unfortunately.
Going to make a 3D peacock for a friend. Would you recommend I wet felt the back framing before I needle felt for feathers so it will stand up?
So it's going to be 3D. Is it? How large?
To make the feathers stand up.
Wet felt.
I think you want the feathers really lightweight so they stand up. Like wire them. Check out the feather technique.
Yeah, definitely check out the feather technique.
Because the wire in them.
It sort of depends on how large, how much time you want to spend. Like, sometimes it's hard to answer because there's just so many approaches to the same project. The rooster was done with a combination of techniques. So in part, he has individual wired feathers, and like Kyla was saying, if you keep them light and use the right wire type to balance that, they will stick up. But then in some places I sort of wet felted panels and used those as a start, just to give me like an easier start than making tons and tons of individual feathers. And then parts of him are fur, just put on with the fur technique. So not even feathers, just fur, and then kind of encouraging the points. So tons of ways to go. So many different ways to go. So I'm sorry I can't help more specifically, but
I will say I don't believe that we have any monkeys planned for the near future. I do know some of what's coming up. Someone wants to know if there are tortoise kits. There are not. We have tortoise interest.
Yes, good. I'm glad you have tortoise interest.
Today, in a minute, we'll talk about the tiers again. There's a couple people just coming in and have just a few questions about that.
Yeah. I can do the tiers.
Yeah, there was one other
Okay.
question that if you're stretching the newer pre-felt onto bars, are you still putting some sort of stab-it to needle felt into? Which someone answered the foam backing, but...
Yeah. You could do that. I made the piece first on just hard foam and then stretched it when it was finished.
Should I grab a piece of it so they know what it looks like?
Sure. Here's one right here, a smaller one right here. Okay, the tiers. So today, with your order, I think there were a few first-time people. You put in your cart what you would like to shop for in general, what you need. And then if you spend $20, you'll receive the copper core bundle. It's 1 ounce. And the little Love tacky wrap. And then at $40, you'll receive our tan blend and our Serafina white blend. And then at $60, we'll add alabaster, which is a house carded, and nut. So it's a nice value because a lot of these are house carded, which is a higher price point.
Okay. This, I just dropped needles. I see it.
Oh, okay. Don't poke your eyes out.
Don't poke my eyes out. This is the foam board with the Pink Panther on it. I'm pretty sure you have to buy a full-size piece. You have to buy a big piece when you buy it, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
If you get together with felting friends, maybe go in on a piece of foam board and cut it apart. And it's really when you work on it. It has a different sound than stab it.
And spied the two tortoises.
We have some, yes. A lot of interest in seeing.
Tortoises.
Show you the tortoises.
We can show the tortoises.
The university, the Rhino, has a supply list. We do not have a kit for that, but the supplies are pretty simple, and we do have them available. So if you're ordering, you would just want to contact me if you need to. But Trisha, that's really thick stuff. It's one board. It's not glued together.
It's 2-inch. They do sell 1-inch foam,
thinner.
I think. Yeah. We do ship to Ireland. Yes.
Oh, someone was asking about the Angelina. Will the new roving still be like as fluffy as the bats?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a nice. We can make it similar to our core as far as. Yes, no?
As far as the thickness.
Yeah, the thickness.
We can control the thickness a little bit. The only reason it might be a little less lofty is because in handling a bundle, it gets a little more tightly
squished up.
Yeah, tightly bound than the house carded sort of knots are right now. But it doesn't. It's exactly the same fiber. It shouldn't, it shouldn't affect anything.
Mm-hmm. As far as the kits not having the colors listed on the card, there are times that we have to substitute fiber in the kit. So if we had the cards all ready to go and printed, but then like Seal Point, for example, went out of availability and we had to find something else, and we may have had 2 different fibers in there as a substitution over time. So that's just something
we're working on.
We haven't done. We're talking about
the picture in the listing. So
having the fibers listed.
I gotta tell everybody, I took off for 2 weeks because, well, it all ties together. But so I'm a little I'm trying to get my head back in the game here. We've been working on an overhead picture of the contents of the kit on the listing to show what's in it. It's just with the fibers changing here and there, it's hard to manage how to manage the information. So that is the step that we're taking to identify what's in the kit, right? Am I remembering?
I think so. We should probably talk to Talbot about that.
Yeah.
Because that sounds like a Talbot thing. I can write it down. There is no wolf kit. Somebody asked that. But again,
we go back and forth on university level kits.
A lot of times the people who do university level already have a stash of wire and a stash of core, and you only need a handful of things to be able to do that project. So
right. That's the thinking behind it.
And we have somewhat limited shelf space.
Right.
So it's kind of like, do we do a new mythical line or do we?
Yeah.
But sometimes we have to decide.
Yeah. I guess my thinking is at that level, you have some supplies, you understand what's needed and why in terms of like wire, core, top coat, stuff for wet felting. And each paid course has a detailed list of what's needed. So,
Okay, lots of turtle questions, and that's great.
I can get the moose. I do sort of have a pair of moose, but one doesn't have his antlers yet. But he's the updated one. I'll show it to you guys because I feel like I did make some really nice changes. Okay, say something funny.
That's way too much pressure. There are questions though about Fiber Fairy for people who are first time. For the longest time, we asked you to put FFF or Fiber Fairy Friday in your order comments. Then our shopping cart checkout changed, and it was very hard to find the order comments box. So then one of the Fiber Fairies was so many people like panicking because they thought it was there, and when you went to PayPal but came back, the note wasn't there, and we ended up just giving it to everybody that day anyway. Most Fiber Fairy orders already are Fiber Fairy orders, and if someone forgets, then they email. We were just doing it anyway. So to make everyone's life easier, ours, yours, all of it, any order placed today will get the Fiber Fairy offer.
I found twin hounds.
Twin hounds.
Yeah.
The moose is in the works. It's very in the works.
Okay. Okay. Old moose.
There's Tortoise chanting.
I know. I'm glad you guys are excited. That's the only thing I'm going to say about the tortoise. Is that I'm so happy that you're very eager for that project. And that I recently made another one. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, this is the old moose. This is the new moose. We need to move the Fiber Fairy, I think. She's lovely.
She in the way?
Yeah.
All right, lady. You got to move.
Yeah, wait, that's
okay. That's
like, let me put that there.
She just flew away.
So I was like, oh, this is a nice moose, but then I made this moose, and I feel that I was better able to nail the proportions and how they are such an exaggerated animal. Sometimes it's hard to get your brain to go all the way there. Like, is the depth of their chest really that big? Is their nose really that big? Like, and so I feel like I got it better, and that is definitely in the works. But then I went and took some time off, and I will just say that I took off last week. This is the second week. And obviously I'm here today, but I'm going to take the rest of the week. And it has been really, really good. And sort of I'm trying to pull together all my thoughts. Like I said earlier, it's a special time. And back around the holidays when it was darker and colder and didn't feel as good and there's more pressures and everything, it hit me. I was like, things are going to lighten up. Like things, and not just spring coming and longer days, but really like I could feel like this cloud that has been around for 2 years now. And it did dissipate a little bit last spring, I just feel like so much good is coming. And then I said to my coworkers, I really just need to take some time. There's some writing I want to start and some things that I want to dive into that was pulling my focus from here. So now that I've given it some time, I can return next week with a lot of excitement and focus to the mooses is what really is at the forefront. But just this week, like even within our work circle and people I know, so many good things have happened, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so it just feels really good. And I'm really happy to see so many truths being realized and pressures relieved. And I hope that's happening in your world as well. And if it's not, I hope it does soon. And part of the time off has been a lot of writing and contemplating about love and truth and connectivity. And anyway, so that's where my head has been. So forgive me for the...
Yesterday we were like, fiber fairies tomorrow. We should probably take some pictures and maybe make a newsletter.
Yeah. So that's what's going on here. And I was really looking, even though I was living at home and in my own head and my own world, I've really been looking forward to today. So
don't poke your eye out with that wire.
I know.
We have people concerned about you.
Has anyone seen the rhino, the slow-mo rhino horn up my nose?
We should maybe just make a clip of that and post it. That would be a sales point for the rhino. You know, that
so
alone.
Fun.
It was good.
I think we have several clips we could maybe stick.
There was amazing editing work that was done there.
So yeah, I've been quiet on social media, and yeah, it's been really good. I'm so thankful to the Serafina crew as always. The way we work together and the way that we grew our roles and our the business, and that I can leave and everything runs, and
they've been holding down the
because
fort. Everyone
here is truly incredible. Like really, like I don't know how I got so lucky on that front, but so
I see a lot of turtleneck. His little face is turned, so you see the skin, which is cool. But you also want to see his face, his whole neck, and it's awesome.
The tortoise is a really fun project, kind of like the dragon in that it's not complex in, detailed shapes and I have to get this muscle and, but it's complex in bringing a lot of different techniques that we've learned together into one project. So I can't wait to share it with you. And that's that. Something to look forward to.
Somebody said make sure the tortoise has 13 scutes.
Oh boy.
Or my husband will not accept it.
Okay. That's your job. When you make your tortoise for your home. Yeah. When we everybody there's an expert for everything. That's why the dogs are so hard. Because those breed specific details are really tough.
The fiber fairies, they were done monthly. It is not monthly as often anymore.
Was it in 2020 that we set out to do? So in 2020, at the
We had
beginning
big
of
plans.
2020, we were like, let's do smaller fiber fairies, like not as not as high of a price point and just smaller. And also for us, when we do a big one, it's a lot of work on this side. So getting ready, having enough, of all these different things. And then we had like a January and a February and a March, and then we had to close.
We had to close
and we never really
the March one.
bounced back after that. But fall is tough because we are trying to hit the other kinds of sales. So usually we try to have, our biggest one is the next one. It's coming up, and that is our spring Fiber Fairy Friday with the Heifer International 10% donation. So that is next, and we picked April 8th. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you can.
I need to get that on the calendar.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. 2 things now.
Yes.
I have to write down. So now I need a pencil.
Oh, I have it here. Here. You can use my clipboard. Ooh.
All right. Yeah, a few questions about coming to visit and like the shop being open.
Yeah.
And I was connecting that in-person classes. So
yeah. Just let us know if you're coming. We're here we switched our schedule pretty much to be here Monday through Friday. We're not here regularly on Saturdays anymore, although it's possible, like we could do that, especially if you're traveling from a distance. Just let us know and we'll be here and we're happy to help you shop. The shop is not open on a regular basis. I have no plans to do so, mostly because we can't fit into it anymore. When we sort of had a Thanksgiving moment where we released the belt of the and we just went into the shop space. I also don't have plans for in-person classes right now. I can see that coming back around. I just, the pandemic led to so many changes and shifts in direction, and then that set it kind of as a divergence. It sort of set me on a different path, and it's a good one. I think the kinds of ways that we're focusing our energy has been really good. So I'm not sure how or when, but I do love the camaraderie of in-person workshops and can see, coming back to that. But I don't have a plan right now. There's we've been learning new equipment, still obviously, dealing with COVID restrictions. And it's one of those things that the experience is so enjoyable and so it's idyllic to me that I don't want to make a lot of compromises in how it's done, in terms of me having to have a mask on while I talk all day, or people, us having to be spread out. What I mean? I would like to return to it with a more...
In the meantime, our shop space isn't a shop space anymore. It's a live streaming space and a filming space, and we have new equipment in here. All of the items that we had in the retail space went down to the shipping area, and it's just all of that has shifted. Yeah. Now we do have, as part of what we had been working on during that time, a lot of new SCI instructors who are certified. So depending on where you live, there may be one.
I was just going to talk
near
about
you.
That.
So
we have 280 people joining us this morning. That's amazing. Nice. That's awesome. Okay, let's talk about SCI a little bit. This fall we had 16.
I think so. I should know this.
We had our first effort to create our SCI foundation, and there is a page on the website with all of the new certified instructors' information and a map of where they are.
And we have 15 listed. 15, there is one still in the works.
Right. But, and so if you're looking for in-person workshops, definitely check that out. And it will grow again in the spring. I will let everybody know when we're open for, we have a handful of applications waiting, and then we will receive new applications sort of in order. It's like I had a stroke today and I can't find my words. I will conduct interviews based on the receipt of application. So that's how you save your spot, basically. But I'll make an announcement of when we're doing that. And then what happens is there is a sort of a week or two that I will have time available to discuss, to interview anyone who's applying. If you think it's right for you, or it could be right for you, you can check out the Learn More page on the website. And the first thing that it asks you to do is you'll receive a non-disclosure. And then once you receive the non-disclosure, then you'll receive sort of the majority of information, in terms of cost and what your level should be and what what will be required for the interview. And that should give you a good, idea of whether this is the right move for you now or not. So it's been the whole process has been really good. And we really made that push last year. Mm-hmm. And then with the sort of influx of the new certified instructors and meeting with them one-on-one and really seeing it come to be and how it's all going to work. In fact, I'm still learning because patients asked recently, how can I promote my workshop? And so we're still tweaking everything that's involved with the relationship between us and the certified instructors. So yeah. And this, hopefully there will continue to be an opening in the flow of our socializing and
there have been a few questions about
workshops.
sheep and wool as well.
Yeah, speaking of socializing. That's going to be here fast. Yeah. So yeah, we were talking about
2 months.
Who's going to be there and what we're going to do and what it's going to look like. And there's a spot in the fairgrounds that's there's music and it's more of a kind of grassy with trees. Mm-hmm. So we were envisioning creating a landing area where we can have some blankets and maybe some coolers and a landing zone so that not everybody all the time has to carry all their stuff mm-hmm. around. I'm imagining there will be enough of us there that a couple people can hang. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And watch things. Or that was I haven't been to Sheep and Wool other than as a vendor for a while now. Yeah. So I don't, but there are other grassy areas that are not shady. And then sometimes the weather's not great.
Sometimes the weather
you don't know
is
that
rotten.
time of year. Sometimes it's cold. We've had some super rainy days, which would be a bummer. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and it'll be so enjoyable though, no matter, kind of no matter what. So I'm looking forward to that.
Is this for USA residents only? Sheep and wool or the Fiber Fairy offer? Not sure that question.
Yeah. Well, the Fiber Fairy is not. We ship internationally, and Sheep and Wool is for anyone who can get there.
Sheep and Wool is the first full weekend. It's actually, I think, Mother's Day weekend, the 6th and 7th of May.
It's it's always the first full weekend in May.
I'm going to link the newsletter in here. Somebody couldn't find the details, so keep an eye on the chat for that. I just need to get the link.
I pinned it.
You pinned
Thank
it?
you.
You pinned it? How do you pin something?
the 3 dots next to a message.
Oh.
Nice. Who's Bonehead?
Sorry, that's not the one I meant to type.
What?
Someone's Bonehead.
But when you put that one, I will pay.
All right.
Is that Diane?
There we go.
I don't know. I'm trying to. I don't know if it's. Okay. Well, yeah, we were talking about can we bring a tent? I don't know what we're allowed to do. Like, are we allowed to
I know.
take over?
I mean, we'd like to take over a large portion of it.
Yeah.
But, the certified instructors, USA only. No, we have a Canadian.
Oh, we didn't even think about certified instructors.
Instructor, and we have someone in the UK, and I get a strange satisfaction out of placing the bunnies on the map. So that would just be extra exciting if it was.
Yes. International is great.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm not saying, Angelina. I'm not saying. I've been sworn to secrecy.
I don't know. If you ask her enough times, she might spill.
What else? We talked about.
Yeah, we
house carded
didn't think
switch.
we'd be allowed to set up a tent either. I was like, we need a tent and a sign.
Oh yeah, probably not a sign, but or if we all wear like t-shirts and hats and stuff, and we'll have a secret handshake.
We did talk.
We
about
do
the
need
secret,
to invent
the
like
secret
a little
sign.
like like something.
The bunny ears.
Oh, we're
said
so
that.
weird.
It was like the bunny ear combo peace sign.
We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna buy a lot of wool.
Live stream the sheep and wool event.
Oh man, that would be.
You interested in going?
Yes. Live stream sheep and wool. I mean, we can go live from our phone.
Here and there. Yeah. There was also a question I meant to answer that now is coming back to me. Some requests for some behind the scenes new machine stuff.
Yes.
So if you look on the impremature listings, there is, I think each one is linked with a video.
Yeah,
Unless they
there's a
didn't do
little carding video. I thought we put it there.
I thought so
Yeah.
too, but now I don't remember.
There's a lot going on.
That was a while ago.
There's a lot of things to link. Managing online like content is huge. It's not there?
It came out in the newsletter, but
okay. All right. We
can link the video on those.
We have a lot of things we would like to do more of.
I'm not at the top of my game. It's been a rough couple
I want to get
months.
back. We used to do a lot of silly things. We haven't done a silly thing in a while.
I think we have kept a good baseline level of silliness, though.
Yeah, we're doing okay given the circumstances. Someone asked about was it the plumage tool? There's probably a few things out of stock.
The Zoli tools are also on order, but out of stock. Paul, air felting, that's our sign?
Sabine.
Air felting.
Air felting, that's so funny.
Paul also said we need a fiber complex, which we're working on, but
What's a fiber complex?
because we said we were out of room, like we had limited shelf space.
Oh, yeah.
So we're growing and expanding,
We sure
trying
are.
to take over everything around us.
Yes. Sabine, that will happen. That will happen. There'll be, I don't know how or when, but I got to get a few kids into college, through college first.
What's that?
Or one more.
Or
Just more
travels?
travel, yeah.
Aw,
I would like
That's
to.
like our big wool RV.
Yeah, I would like to travel
Trip.
more. I've been a little homebound lately. So. Oh, I think that the baby orangutan went like into the trash. Someone actually got rescued from the dumpster. I had a fit. That was part of my, I had a purge, and my studio was a disaster. It became just a landing ground for everything. And I've been working mainly here at this table. And yeah, and so, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago, I had a big clean out, and there's a lot of things sitting around. And one of them was the broken baby orangutan. And, stuff, if it sits too long, like moths want to come visit it. And then I just realized he was all like scary and fleshy, and it's kind of depressing me.
He was a little crazy looking.
So we got our last little bit of entertainment out of taking pictures of it in the dumpster. Poor thing. Sometimes you have to let go of things. Can you come purge me? Yes. Trish, I will come there and help you. Actually, who you need is Jennifer. Mm-hmm. It's almost like I am so weird in that way, because I will hold on to things like paper towels, like weird stuff. I can't make myself throw it away. And then all of a sudden I will just be like, I mean, my house is in good shape now, but it is an interesting phenomenon, like why we hold on to something. Mostly I don't like making trash. Mm-hmm. Like I hate making trash.
Joyce has a fiber complex. She said she talks to her therapist about it.
That's a different kind of fiber complex.
I have a feeling we contribute to that fiber complex.
All right, what else can we talk about now that we're here together?
Ann Gordon said we need to do a turtle walk together.
What does that mean?
That might be silliness. Or maybe there's a turtle walk that you go find turtles. I don't know. We talked about... skating was fun. We did skating. That was a silly thing.
We did skating, yeah.
I mean, the fun video. I taught Talbot everything he knows.
Oh my gosh. Talbot's amazing. It's life or death to skate around here, let me tell you that much. We were like, oh, our landlord repaved, so and it's like a nice day, let's skate. And then you realize that you're taking a big risk. Then I went to a skating rink last weekend, and it was like flat and safe, and I had so much fun just going around and round. I was like, I'm a good skater because I could go around and round. The boiled wool, sure, you can. It's just felted, so you could needle felt into that. I'd say I don't think you could wet felt into it because it's already felted. That would be my guess on that. Oh, Sue, what's the big secret to getting water?
I was just going to answer that.
Squeeze it. It's like a turkey baster. Squeeze it. Get all the air out. Put the nozzle into the water and then let go, and it goes.
Oh, I stick it in, squeeze it, and then open it.
Well, that's like a little kid blowing straw.
I know, that's fun.
You're like... Either way, doesn't matter when you squeeze it, but it's going to suck the water up itself. Yeah.
How can I make it that the pets don't eat my things?
Oh, that's
Put them up really high.
Yeah.
Unless you have cats that jump. And
yeah,
then
cats are, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's probably several approaches to that one, but I don't know. But yeah, they do generally like them. Paul, it was a lot of fun. I did take a spill. So coming down around the corner in front of the shop, it's a hill, And on the second day of skating, I was getting more and more confident with taking this hill and the turn. And so I was like traversing to really break up the hill so that I didn't get speed. And then I sort of like opened up my Z.
Okay.
So it got like faster and
zooming.
faster.
Can't believe I wasn't here for that.
And then I got a little too confident. And built into the asphalt is basically like, looks like a speed bump. But it's to divert water. But it's this asphalt bump that's about like this big. And I'm coming down around the turn too fast. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, I'm going to hit that. And I did. I hit it and I launched and I went my feet went out in front of me and I landed on my butt in the back of my head. But
Which is why you wear a helmet.
we're all padded up. I was very thankful for my, like I had elbow pads and everything, which is good because that's kind of how
you landed.
felt. Yeah.
Oh. A lot of questions about 2D landscapes and using the Imprimatura and any more 2D projects planned.
Yeah. I made a big push on the 2D when we launched the Imprimatura. I had probably that live discussion about 2D was like one of my favorite things we've ever done live. Like I really get very excited about explaining what I have learned or sharing what I have learned in my painting and 2D work. So I have several things in the works, but that is definitely, based on your feedback and how much I like it, I can find time to do that again. I loved people sending their stuff in. I thought that was a really fun way to go about it. So we could do that again, or maybe we could just take a different approach and I could do a demo or using Imprimatura. Because it doesn't take long for me, like something like the hounds or the zebra, it doesn't take long for me to lay something out. We could just do an overhead and just do a demo.
That would be cool.
And talk about the choices that I'm making and why. That would be really fun.
For Wendy, I just linked the page that has the hound course overview. I believe in that overview, Sarah talks about the different breeds that she addresses in the hound and dog course.
Yeah. The hound course, the step-by-step instruction is for the hound only. The course itself, we make 3 additional armatures. I tried to cover an array of breed types. The Dachshund, the Bulldog, and the Borzoi. And then in the content, in the video and the discussion and some reference materials, there's more information about dog characteristics in general.
That course has a lot of reference material as far as just drawings and things to take into consideration when you're figuring out how to capture the breed that you're looking for.
Yeah, this is a question about moths, and I've seen some here, and I can't say how much of a deterrent cedar or lavender is. Like I don't know scientifically but that isn't definitely an avenue to go, either a spray or sachets or cedar chips. Storage definitely helps. So if wool items are not in use, or a sealed container is great. They tend to emerge when things are left for a long time and in a dark area. Mm-hmm. So make sure you're rotating your fiber, make sure you're using, and I don't know. I have things that have been here for years with no, like the fiber fairy, for example. Mm-hmm. She's been around for a long time, and it's just crazy how something can exist forever with no problem whatsoever. And then, but maybe it has to do with the fiber itself and how clean it is and how pure, you know, I don't know.
Right, like
But
what they're drawn to.
sometimes they'll get somewhere, yeah.
Deb commented that you looked right at the bump.
I looked
Back
at the
to
bump.
Skating. She
We
said
were
first
so
lesson, do not look at the obstacle. You
no.
won't hit
So
it.
when we mountain bike, that is absolutely, if you look at the root or the rock that you do not want to hit, you are gonna hit it, and that's exactly what happened. I should have. And same with riding horses. A lot of us are horse people. Like you need to look where you want to go, not at what you're afraid of. don't want to go. I love so many lessons in life overlap. It's so nice to be here having a fiber fairy, chatting with you guys,
Fur.
getting out of my home, away from my desk.
Fur for a fox and a raccoon.
Ooh.
If they wanted to fur it out, which fur should they use?
Yeah, for the fox, I like Irish. You can mix Irish with golden or camel, and then gray it out with a little wolf. Sometimes red foxes have a little more variation in their butt, a little more gray color in their butt.
Silver sable for a raccoon?
Yeah, probably. And just remember that all of the furs can be fur, they're blended. So, you know, there's 12 colors. Well, maybe not yet. I'll just write it down.
I don't know the answer to that question.
All right, I'm just looking to see if there's any other questions emerging. What was I talking about?
Somebody was asking more turtle excitement.
Yeah.
Somebody was asking about the colors on this one, what you used.
Okay. Someone asked about the mouse. It's going to be, the felt along is going to be March 19th for the new mice. So that'll be really fun. We can totally do that together. Like, I feel like you guys could felt with me because it's pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Diane wants the news. She said, fill it.
So we really enjoy a company from Italy called DHG, and we carry DHG's Merino. A lot of our products are DHG products. Their company is, I just admire their aesthetic, their business practices, you know, how they're doing things, and I'm happy to be sort of, I don't know what the right word is, in allegiance. Mm-hmm. So they approached us about furthering the fur line. And so that is in the works. It's going to be a while, but basically a line of colors that would lend themselves to plumage. Mm-hmm. So it's exciting. It's part of what I get to work on next.
Someone's requesting a turtle twirl. And in a minute we'll go over the tiers again, and just so you know what you need for the mouse felt along. Okay, so this was the one that I made in the workshop that I had here several years ago. And he's a little more grayed out, I guess. And this one is the one that I made recently. I'm trying to remember what I used. I made a blend like this green, kind of that's the neck skin, and in the shell I made a blend. I have bark merino that I toned down with onion silk. What's that? Oh no, it's really light.
Dune.
It's got a lot of silk. Okay, dune with silk on it.
Yeah.
Is there oregano in this or sprout?
Oregano and sprout. You're gonna learn more about that soon. That's what. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yes, and then the tiers.
The tiers.
The tiers for the mice and what you need.
You go.
For me?
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to find out that I don't know what the Fiber Fairy offer is.
Oh, I can do it.
Wait, I have a newsletter.
You seemed on a roll. So.
No, I'm just going to reference my thing. Okay. First tier. If you spend $20, you get copper core and a little tacky wrap in the shape of a heart. And someone commented that hers was super nasty and she was very excited that we were saving her
to get a fresh
with
one,
to get a fresh
which
one.
will get nasty.
It'll get
very
nasty,
quickly.
nasty soon. So that is if you spend $20. If you spend $40, you get this, and it's all cumulative. So you get the first tier and the second tier, which is the Gen Tan and Serafina White, and then the top tier is at $60. You get Nut Merino and Alabaster Skin Tone. And all of these things are what you need to make these little guys. You just need a little black for the eyes and really like that big of a piece. Pretty much every supply pack, you always end up with extra black.
Yeah.
So hang on to your extra black for future eyeballs. And 22 gauge wire. And that's going to be it. All you need for the mice.
Yeah, I love today. I think everybody should make a wish today or plant a seed today for something that you hope to come to be.
I think the mouse paws. Someone loves the mouse paws.
Yeah.
Which is super cute and a lot easier than tiny toes. It's like
why struggle?
That's win-win. All right, I think we lost him on the turtle. 2D wool painting would be good for an intro for students.
Meaning, how
Someone's
so?
thinking a 2D wool painting. Did we write that down? 2D
intro for who?
like for new people.
Oh yeah.
2D wool
The rooster
demo.
is like, we had a couple people send us pictures of their 2D rooster that had never felted before, and I couldn't believe it. It was so exciting. They were really good.
So, Lori, if you look at one of the pinned posts, it's pinned our newsletter today. Today is a Fiber Fairy offer, and with the purchase on the website of, whatever's on there that you're interested in, other stuff, these items, if it's a $60 purchase, you would get all of those items. And then the tutorial for the mouse will be a felt along on March 19th. It's a Saturday. And I need to add that too. I don't think we had picked a date. It'll be on our calendar, the felt along. I don't think I have it on there.
Oh, okay.
So the felt along will be then, and if you're not available, Saturday the 19th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever, Eastern time, so whatever that is for you, it stays on our channel and you can revisit it anytime. It's a pretty simple armature, but if you have extra wire, maybe try to make an armature before then so you're more successful in the live. Mm-hmm. But really, for a beginning armature project,
I'll try to go slow and explain as if it was a first. There's a few little details that'll be hard for someone who's never felted before, but it is definitely a beginner project. Or near. We all got to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm. If there is a new instructor, like in the Netherlands, will there be stuff available over here? If somebody in your country becomes a certified instructor, then they would be teaching locally their classes. As far as fiber material, they're not necessarily going to open a Serafina shop there.
But they have access to it.
They would have access to some of the kits and everything.
What wire types are not recommended for armature and how to avoid color fade? Good question. Aluminum armature wire is what I have been using pretty much all along. And there are a few caveats. There is wire fatigue. And so be aware in your twists and in how the armature is created that there aren't severe bends at joints, because that can snap. Aside from the traumatized baby orangutan, I have not had anything snap. Mm-hmm. So, and then the bigger you go, one mistake to avoid is just getting bigger wire. You want to twist more wires together to create a stronger, bigger wire. Steel wire, I used when I very first started, I used some fence wire. Really hard on the hands, hard to bend, hard on tools. I don't use it. It doesn't mean you can't use it. It's just there's reasons that I don't use it. I think the biggest thing to keep in mind is the wire strength to the project. That is like kind of the sweet spot to learn, and we convey as much as we possibly can what wires to use when, but you will get a feel for it. So for example, the first time I was asked to create something bigger than an ornament, I made it on pipe cleaner because that's what I had always used was chenille stems. And so I'm like, oh, this thing's flopping all over the place because these wires are not strong enough. Even these little guys, because they're kind of dense, they don't really have a neck. The wool can override the 22 gauge wire. So it's not as easy to like turn their heads, for example, because there's a lot of wool built around a 22 gauge wire, which is not a super strong wire. So if you use too strong a wire, like let's say you made this and you had something like steel fence wire, the wire would be too strong for the project. You wouldn't be able to bend its little hand or elbow, and it would put a lot of force on the wool. So finding that balance between the buildup of wool, the weight of the wool, and the strength of the wire takes a little bit of practice, but everything that we pair together is based on an understanding of that. So supply packs and any project that we present, this is something that we've already figured out. And so it's, being conveyed to you. Yeah. Okay, so Stephanie's saying she only uses steel wire. For the plumage, I know that Sabine and Delisa preferred the steel wire, mm-hmm. and we went with a copper-based wire. Mm-hmm. So, there's no one way, and there's so many products out there, some of which I don't even know about. Mm-hmm. So, but all I can do is share what I've learned. And see the bottom of the tortoise?
Yeah,
here's this one. Him. Yeah.
In the butt.
They're a lot of fun. Yeah. I felt like I had another thought or question in my head.
It's so funny how many people still put Fiber Fairy.
Yeah.
They say, I know I don't need to put Fiber Fairy, but I'm putting Fiber Fairy.
We welcome any comment.
It's all good. We love
yes,
we
love
the
comments. We just wanted to streamline it and make it easier.
Can I use my Kindle Fire for the app required for the instructor course? The instructor course is taught through the Annex platform. So if you've gotten any other tutorials on the Annex, like the dragon or the horse or the hounds, if you can stream. I'm not familiar with what a Kindle Fire lets you do.
Yeah.
You should be able to.
But
Carrie just asked what DHG is, which is... we had just talked about that. DHG is for Dying House Gallery, and it's an Italian a company based in Italy, in Prato. And I was just saying how much I love the company. So they come from more of a wet felting, I think, really kind of impetus to their products. And we're starting to, DHG makes so the fur is my concept, our formula. DHG makes it. And then recently they approached us about collaborating on a line. So exciting stuff, good stuff. Their color choices are so appealing. Like, they're so good. Yeah.
Somebody's asking what they can use as a substitution for oats.
Yeah, oats is, it depends on what you're making. If it's the color that's important, that's a tough one, because oats really is its own very wonderful specific thing, and we will have it soon. If you feel like blending, you could blend like a gray and wheat and off-white chunky core. Would give you a proximity. But we'll get it back soon. Aw, Judy, that's exciting. Yeah, Laura's saying lemon yellow. Yellows are tough. I generally am not attracted to yellows. Well, the ones that are softer, like dune, and like the ones that are more like tan, I like.
Someone's asking if DHG could send the furs directly within Europe to avoid import taxes.
Yeah, that's part of the collaboration. Will be direct sale. So it's not going to happen for a bit. Some point this year, but it's gonna take a little while. But that is part of the plan. And, ultimately will be mutually beneficial. So I'm excited about it. Yeah.
Audrey Farthing is asking, which of the NX courses would you recommend as a first, given I am fairly technically challenged? She's done many of the free tutorials with reasonable success.
Okay, let's think.
So if it's technically challenged, like using the technology...
right, or felting techniques.
If you've done a lot of the free tutorials, the NX courses are leveled. So
yeah, the older ones that are at a lesser price point, there's really good ones. There's really good. It's just once we made the switch to the platform, we started including the reference materials and more things. So the horse is, to me right now, is the hardest. So not the horse. The dragon has a lot of different technique aspects with the wet felting and everything, but there's zero pressure because it can be any color you want. It can look any way you want. So the dragon, to me, is a lot of fun. The armature is big, but it's pretty simply made. Like, it has a large amount of wires with the wings and tail and everything, but it comes together. It would be a challenge probably in some ways with the wet felting and the armature and claws and using swax, but it's also very liberating because you're not, under pressure to have the legs and face and muscles chiseled in a very specific way.
She actually said computer technology.
Oh, computer technology. We're here to help you.
Yeah, you'll be good. It pretty much walks you through lesson by lesson. That's why if people are thinking about the SD card, like if you have any ability with the internet, you're streaming, download speeds and whatever, if you can do it, totally go on the NX and try it. It's really nice how it's broken down. And we've designed the courses for you on that platform. The SD card is sort of retrofitted for people who like have the worst internet ever and just can't access stuff. So I feel like it's pretty easy and it walks you through. It is a separate website, so when you click on the purchase link, it's going to ask you for an email, and you do create a password there. So
it's its own.
Yeah, your email and password for our website isn't going to get you in there unless you happen to use the same password.
It's up to you.
Which I never do. Use the same password everywhere. So, yeah, and if you're super stuck, just shoot me an email.
I had to text because lunch is coming. That's what
Ooh,
it was. It was an important.
It is
an important text.
Oh, our friend Rebecca from Cleveland just read about the tortoises. And someone's asking when, and we're not going to tell you.
We're not going to tell you. Just the fact that we're not going to tell you means that you should be able to get it.
We're not talking about turtles anymore. I'm cutting it off. Do we have to figure out lunch?
I just sent a group text.
Oh, well, this is important. What would you recommend for fur in place of Surrey, because there's an alpaca allergy?
Yeah. Fur. The fur line.
It has some alpaca in it?
Oh, it does have some alpaca in it.
But, I mean, is there an alpaca allergy? Because when you get that Surrey...
Right, like,
know,
because
like
it's all processed and cleaned.
Yeah, like once it's...
Right.
It's processed, blended, theoretically
Yeah.
also dyed. It may...
Yeah, it might not be
And it's
a trigger.
Yeah.
But I couldn't say for sure. And I mean, they're not, like, sleeping with it.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know where that line is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard to mimic alpaca, Surrey alpaca. You know, fur is the closest thing. Mohair, I guess, if you could find it. But alpaca comes in such a beautiful range of color, and mohair is a little more limited.
Mm-hmm. Bonnie's scared to cut her dragon skin. I feel you, Bonnie. I feel that. I don't like cutting anything.
There's so much. There's such a wealth and depth for us, you know, that it's like, it's hard to navigate sometimes, because I'm like, there's so much that we want to do, and there's so much for everybody to learn, myself included. So it's just it's constantly inspiring, and I'm excited for everything that we have, you know, coming our way, and for everything that you guys are exploring individually in fiber art, and, you know, combining talents and seeing the overlaps and seeing how one thing leads to another. So my point is, it's there's so much flow, and I just want you to know that it's all still very good and very exciting, and endless, and that we should enjoy it. And really, I know that as a beginner now, with so much out there, you know, so many people having come really far in learning this craft, it can be a little daunting, and so much information to learn in terms of techniques and fiber types and armatures. But really, my advice is to jump in and enjoy swimming around. Don't worry about, you know, how it looks just yet, or that this isn't right yet. It all will evolve, as my own work did. And, you know, the first things I made were so simple, like so pretty loose, and just like two basic colors, and
Yeah, really, our beginners are so far ahead of you as a beginner.
Yes.
Because
we're saying
of that
here,
information. Yeah.
So I just want to encourage everybody to enjoy the process and exploring everything that is out there, and try not to get overwhelmed by it, or compare because then some of the purpose is lost. So that's all I got. That's not all I got. I got a lot more, but I am starting to think about lunch. To be honest.
It's good. We're at 11:30. So.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I'm looking forward to our next interaction, which I guess right now would be the 19th for the felt along for the mice. I will work on, kind of on my front burner is the moose and new color blends and our April 8th Fiber Fairy, which is a big one, so keep that in mind. And there's another thing. Oh, looking at the possibility of another 2D live stream. Well, I think a demo would be really nice. Just to show what I'm doing and talk through the things that I'm doing, the techniques and the choices and stuff. So thank you all so much for being here today and being a part of the community and helping us do what we do.
Those of you who've inquired about the SCI, I know a couple came in that I need to send the information your way. So you'll get a non-disclosure agreement to sign. Then we'll send along the application information and all of that.
Yeah, so
When did we say? March? April.
somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
I'll look at the calendar and set up a couple of weeks of availability. Yeah.
So late March or early April for actual like interviews and stuff.
But if you want to inquire before then you'll have an idea. The only step before receiving the information is the non-disclosure. So you don't have to make a choice or anything like that. You're going to get all the information and then decide if you want to move forward to apply.
Bonehead told you to enjoy your vacation.
I am.
We're just going to call you Bonehead just because.
It is going to stick, I think, for Diane. Bonehead's visiting next week.
Ooh, good.
Oh gosh. So, oh yeah, Crystal, there's a feather tutorial. Yeah, that avenue is definitely going to expand and have more exploring. We just really wanted to get the technique that Delisa and Sabine were sharing out. But there's a lot more to do there. So she said great.
I'm gonna laugh every time we see that.
So yeah, think good thoughts and give someone a hug today and
2 hugs.
2 hugs. And we will I think we're good. Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. We'll see you guys the next time. Thanks so much for being here today. I had a lot of fun. I needed it. So we're good.
Just waiting for it to catch up.
Yeah.
You'll be off.
That was fun.
Yeah, all of a sudden lunch is just like food. Food.